Yo, what's good? Hope everybody being cozy. I mean, if you live out here on the East Coast, Northeast area, it's been raining for a couple days in a row. you know, so I hope everybody cozy. I mean, floods or whatever. But I want to jump into the week 3 of the NFL season. Terrence Crawford. I mean, start off with those, and then we see where we head to. But shout out my 49ers. We 3-0. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're currently the only team that's 3-0, unless the Eagles win tonight, which I believe they will. The Eagles are playing Tampa Bay. I think the Eagles should win that game. I'm not saying Tampa Bay's pushovers, but I just believe they should win that game. No, Miami Dolphins is 3-0 as well. Forgot about the Dolphins. Tampa Bay's 2-0. So whoever wins the Eagles and Tampa Bay will be 3-0. Okay, because I had to pull out the iPad. I don't want to be incorrect. Okay, yes. First things first, shout out to 49ers. 3-0. We did our thing with the Giants. I believe that was a very, very well balanced effort. Not saying we're looking perfect, because we're not. I think we can do better. But I'm just very critical of my teams. That's how I've always been. I don't think it's going to change. But we definitely handle our business. 300 pass yards, 141 rush yards, total of 441 yards. But the significant thing that I see is 0 turnovers. So I'm not over here gloating. It's only the Giants. No slight to any Giant fans, but it's only the Giants. Shout out to my boy Benny and a few other people that's Giants fans that I rock with. Whatever. But yeah, I want to jump into the Dallas Cowboys real quick, because Dallas is crazy. And why I say Dallas is crazy is because Dallas has a tendency of doing what they did yesterday. And what I mean by that is Dallas came out and lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I don't care what anybody says. I know they have people out on Cowboys. I understand that on the offensive line. Not Tate Diggs. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the actor, but Diggs is hurt. I understand these things. Shout out to Diggs. Hopefully, speedy recovery. He's a talented cornerback. Corner's my favorite position in the NFL and football, period. So shout out to him. He's a talented player. Hope he gets back well and everything's good with him. But I still don't think the Cowboys should have lost that game. That's just me. So the thing is, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. But the thing is, I believe the Cowboys do what they always do, which is they lose to the teams they're supposed to beat. Arizona has a backup quarterback. They didn't come in there saying, "Oh, we got a backup." I haven't been hearing nobody talk about Arizona. Is not even playing. Kyler Murray has not played all 3 games. I don't even know when he's coming back. But okay. Nobody's talking about that. On the offense, no disrespect to Arizona. No disrespect. Let me get back to where I was at. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Arizona. But Arizona on offense, they're depleted. Like it's not. I'm not even trying to be funny here. Please pardon me. And these guys are elite players. They're physical they're elite athletes. I mean, highly, conditioned athletes. And I'm not discriminating. I've never even played high school football. So I have no room to say anything. But at the same time, Arizona, what I mean is Marquise Hollywood Brown is the most prevalent wide receiver they have in my eyes. So yeah. Cowboys went in there feeling themselves. We're 2-0. We're doing good. We're beating on teams, pause. We're beating on teams, this, that, and the third. Fine. Yeah, but it's a 17-game season. And y'all have no room to be out here acting like y'all done won something and y'all didn't win anything, because clearly y'all didn't. And this is the problem I have with the Cowboys, because this is not the first time, not the second. This is a trend that they do. And the trend is this. They lose to teams they're supposed to beat. Dak Prescott threw an interception in the end zone to a team in the red jersey, Arizona. Dak, let me tell you something. You know what the worst thing you did, Dak, before the season? Guaranteeing that you was going to throw a lesser amount of turnovers. Picks. Shouldn't even have said that. You should just say, I'm going to try to do better. By you putting a cap, that cap is going to be scrutinized. Everybody's going to be watching. Am I lying? I can't be. I'm not. So, these are the receivers that caught passes for Arizona. Wilson, Michael Wilson, Brown, Connor the running back, Ingram, Rondell Moore, Zach Ertz, McBride. Anybody jumping out to you on that? On there? Then, Cowboys, their top 3 pass catchers. Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks. We all know them. And Brandon Cooks, I don't know, they're underutilizing him. To me, he had 2 receptions, 17 yards. He could be used more. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not even getting into that. I'm just getting into that the Cowboys dropped the ball yesterday. Even Mekhi Parsons with his comment, this is the problem. Y'all play down to your competition. Y'all cannot play down to your competition. Y'all haven't done anything. Y'all haven't made it to the Super Bowl in years. Yes, okay, yeah, my 49ers, we haven't won a Super Bowl in years, but we have been relevant more recently than the Cowboys. We done made it to NFC championships last year. Done made it to 2 Super Bowls with Jimmy G and Kaepernick. We just was in the NFC championship recently. I know I'm a 49ers fan. I don't want to make it seem like it's just about 49ers. He's on here just coming to slam teams. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. The Cowboys is disappointing. I'm disappointed, disgusted, and it's just a shame. Y'all should not have that mentality. Y'all are loaded. Loaded. And you're 2-1, but the reason why this loss is so significant is because y'all should not have lost to the Arizona Cardinals. The defense looked crazy yesterday. They let look at this. James Conner had 98 yards. They gave up 222 rushing yards yesterday. 222 on 30 attempts. And gave up two runs over 40 yards. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. See? One turnover. That one turnover was in the red zone. And a costly one at that. So I'm not killing them. It's early in the season. They could turn it around, whatever. But this is just a thing that they continuously do and have done. And until they fix that mentality, they're never going to be able to ever really compete to win. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Next, of course, I want to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but I want to mention it now. Jacksonville, I picked them as a dark horse again to get to the playoffs. I did before the season started. Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked good the first 3 weeks. They got spanked by Houston Texans with a rookie quarterback. And no slight to him, and honestly, he's looking like the best rookie quarterback this season right now. Anthony Richardson is hurt, so that's pause for cause. They went out there, they lost to Houston. They lost to Houston 37-17, which is crazy. Reason why I went to Jacksonville next is because Jacksonville, if they want to do what they did again last year, they have to be consistent. See, it just seems like when teams do good and they overachieve, and that next season when it's meant for them to achieve great things, it's like, what the hell? What can we do? How can we do? Nah, stick to the formula. That's it. Stick to the formula. I know it's easier said than done, but you got to stick to the formula. You have to. Lawrence has to be a little better for the team. I know they're only 1-2. It's early in the season. Only 3 games has transpired. I understand that, but still, a team like Houston, they were supposed to beat them if their trajectory is going upward. You have to beat these teams that are quote unquote lesser than you. Even though they're still NFL players, they're still elite athletes, all that. I'm not discrediting. I don't want nobody to get offended. That's not what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, Jacksonville was supposed to go in there and handle business. And they did it. So I want to start off with that. With those 2 teams we're going to talk about. That's 2. Also, who else? Oh, we cannot forget. Miami's looking great. Okay. Miami's looking great. Tua is the real deal. That offense is very much explosive. One of the most explosive offenses I've seen in years. They got speed all over the field. 2 running backs. Like it's a lot of moving things, and that coach. Shout out to that coach, Anthony Gaines. Shout out to him because he got them boys looking good. And this is all riding on Tua's health. Yeah, so far, and Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully, speedy recovery, whatever. I would like to see you come back and get a fair shot to win another chip with a nice, well put together team that you haven't had in a long time, with both sides of the ball, with weapons on offense and a good defense. He hasn't had that. Even when he won the Super Bowl, it was a mediocre defense that just made plays when it counted. I'm just being honest. But yeah, Miami's definitely looking like the best team in the AFC East. Also next week they have a clash with the Buffalo Bills. Early on, letting us know who's going to be the best in the AFC East so far. I know it's still early, but that game is going to be very intriguing. Especially it could matter for down the end of the road, end of the field, end of the game. End of the season. For seeding and to make the playoffs, you never know. They play each other another time anyway. Also, I want to talk about who else we want to talk about. Oh yeah, let's talk. I just brought Buffalo up. Buffalo beat Washington 37-3. Now, Buffalo defense looked great yesterday. So that's why this matchup next week is going to be very, very interesting because you got a defense in Buffalo that came to life yesterday. Now, they looked phenomenal. Phenomenal. They attacked Hal all game long. I just want to I don't want to misquote things because I know they was pounding on pause. They was beating up on pause. Yo, it's wild. But they definitely was terrorizing that man. Washington threw 4 interceptions. They had 5 turnovers in total. A fumble loss, 4 picks. And I'm looking for the sacks. 9 sacks. 9 sacks, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. Buffalo terrorized them yesterday. And I'm not saying that offense ain't do nothing. No, I'm not saying that. But, man, the defense was phenomenal. They played out of their minds yesterday. Look, yeah, Josh Allen numbers yesterday was pedestrian. Not taking nothing away from him. He's definitely an elite quarterback. He's a great quarterback. But he only had 218, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The run game came alive for them, which is a great thing because that's what they need. That's what I've been feeling like they've been lacking for years. They don't have a run game to support Josh Allen. He got to be the running back, the quarterback. I'm like, come on, give him help with the run game. Well, yesterday he got help. He had 98 yards from James Cook, 98 yards total offense. Total run was 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns on 33 attempts. 33 carries. Diggs had a big game, 8 receptions, 111 yards. Gabe Davis scored a touchdown. I like him. You know, I think he's a talented player. Wanna come up. Yeah, but the defense just played lights out, man. Leonard Floyd had 2 sacks alone. You know, like they just. And not to mention, Von Miller's not even playing. It's another thing. So, you know, Buffalo's looking good. This next week is going to be definitely a big game next week. Definitely a big game. Definitely a big game. So, yeah. Who else? Detroit did their thing. Baltimore, that was embarrassing. Now, I ain't going to say embarrassing. But I'm going to say this. That was definitely a pass interference on Zay Flowers. I seen it. Once again, like I said before, corner is my favorite position. But that was he grabbed his waist before the ball even got towards him. That was pass interference. I always say they don't let the corners be able to be physical and touch. You know. And be physical and grab and stuff like that, but it is what it is. In that case right there was pass interference. But still, to me, Ravens shouldn't even have let that game be close. Minshew was back there. I don't know, Baltimore came in there and fell asleep. I don't know what they did, but they shouldn't have lost. But that's just my opinion. New England did what they supposed to do. They continued their dominance over the Jets, but I'm not about to pile on with the Jets. All I'm going to say is, matter of fact, the Jets, I don't know. Y'all might be cursed. Man, you get the quarterback y'all wanted to get after all that circus shit. Y'all get him. All right. Y'all get all these players. Y'all get everything in place. 4 snaps into the NFL season for y'all. he gets hurt. You can't make this type of stuff up. Like you would think this is a scripted movie. You would think that. You would think this was part of a movie, but it's not part of a movie. It actually happened. He got hurt. So now you put back in Zach Wilson. The team don't like him. Nobody likes him. It's the truth. Listen, I'm just a man who's just speaking his thoughts. I'm not a NFL insider. I'm not a former player. I don't have dudes whispering shit in my ear telling me that, nah. I'm just going off what I see, the eye test, and what I read. And some of the stuff I read, I'm not going to say it's written in stone. No, of course not. Because sometimes the things I read and things I hear from others, from other analysts that I watch on ESPN or if I read on Yahoo Sports or Bleacher Report or Fox News, it doesn't matter. Whatever outlet. So, Zach Wilson's not liked. Clearly. They don't like him. He's back in there. Okay. He's going to give you the same thing he gave you last year. Nothing. So what I would do, me personally, as the Jets head coach, go to the front office, tell them, listen, we need to do something. Get rid of this guy so we could get a quarterback. We need to do something fast. Send him somewhere. Trade him for some draft picks and a quarterback somewhere. Maybe you could get a backup somewhere that's better than him. Shit, Andy Dalton's over there in Carolina doing his thing, playing backup. Yesterday they lost, but he made it interesting for a little bit. So yeah. If the front office don't want to trade him or whatever, man, just run the ball. Try to keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. We have seen teams do that. The Jets did it 2 years in a row when they went to they had Mark Sanchez back there. I'm saying they went to 2 AFC championships with Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez. Also Baltimore Ravens. It's other teams that there's Tennessee Titans. They're one team too. Because Ryan Tannehill, he ain't the answer. They should have got rid of him. I don't know another story for another day. Tennessee's looking real suspect. Cleveland beat up on them, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. But the Jets got to do something. They're one right now. The Jets are 1-2. And they can still salvage the season, but they just got to get rid of. They have to do something with this quarterback. They have to. Like I said, either trade him or they have to run the ball. That's it. And they looked competitive yesterday. They only put up 10 points, but they still look competitive. But this is what I'm saying. Give me a second. I'm pulling up the box score. Zach Wilson was 18 for 36 for 133 pass yards. Yeah. Listen, man. That's not going to cut it. Dalvin Cook, I don't know what's going on over there. Dalvin Cook, 8 carries, 18 yards. Breece Hall, 12 carries, 18 yards. It's not going to cut it. It's not. Mac Jones threw for 29 times. Right? New England had 40 carries for 157 rush yards. 40 carries. The New York Jets had 22. What are we talking about here? And then y'all worry about, but why y'all, we had to come back. Fine, I understand that. But, oh my God. They got to come out with a better game plan. Jets fans around the world, please, I'm sorry for y'all depression. You know, I was looking forward to watching this season. I picked you guys to come out the AFC East and do some things, maybe even make it to the Super Bowl. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I love Aaron Rodgers. I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks that I've seen with my eyes. I know he don't have the most wins. You know, people might call him whatever they want to call him. I don't care about his personal life. I don't care about none of that. I'm talking about whatever happens on the field. What happens on the field is that I think that man is elite beyond his years. I thought he was elite before people started calling him all these how this and that, how great he is. I've seen it before a lot of people. I know it might sound crazy, like, oh, it's easy to say that now because he's great. No, I mean it. I've seen it before, like, yeah. I'll have my man on the show soon, and he can attest to that and let y'all know, like, you know, how I foresaw Aaron Rodgers being this great. So, definitely an Aaron Rodgers fan. Definitely was looking forward to this season, and it's just pathetic that he got hurt so quickly, and we didn't even get to see the Jets do anything. So, next, I want to talk about the Tennessee Titans. Before I get to talk about Tennessee Titans, before I get to them, because that's going to be, I want to go in on them real quick. Green Bay, comeback win. Derek Carr got hurt. They looked different when Derek Carr was in there. Jameis, I felt like he should have still been able to manage that win, but they didn't. Shout out to Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers on that comeback win. Chargers, that game was electric. Chargers and Vikings. Vikings fought to 0-3. Kirk Cousins is having an amazing season, but I don't know what it is. Maybe he's cursed, but it doesn't matter. And Washington, Minnesota, last year they was 13-3. They was playing great football. They lost. They come out, they're playing. Let's look at it. We're about to look at it right now. Box score. Kirk Cousins had 367 pass yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. They got sacked 4 times. Got sacked 4 times. Then, there's another thing. They ran the ball, Minnesota, on the Chargers. Minnesota got 24 carries, 130 yards. This was definitely a back and forth game. It was amazing. This game was a very good game. It was definitely down to the wire. Very good game. Both teams came out. You could tell both teams did not want to go down to 0-3. Very hard fought game for these teams. Minnesota, I don't know I don't know what's next for Minnesota. To be honest, they're really not playing bad football. They just can't win. And I don't mean to blame Kirk Cousins, but hey man, I don't know. It's something about you. Like, look, it was 2 turnovers, 1 interception, and a fumble loss. Minnesota controlled time of possession, 33 minutes to 26. So Minnesota should have won this game, but I don't know. It just happened. So the Chargers definitely was trying to give it back to them too. Shout out Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen had a monster game. Monster. I got him in fantasy on one. I got 4 leagues. I'm playing in 4 leagues on fantasy. I got 4 leagues. Got Keenan Allen on one of my teams. Put up like 40 points. But he definitely had a big game yesterday. 18 receptions, 215 yards, a 49-yard pass, 1 touchdown. You know, it's crazy that he had 215 pass yards with 0 touchdowns, but it is what it is. But he definitely had a big game yesterday. For those that forgot about Keenan Allen, when healthy, this is normal. This is not, he's a baller. He can play. He always could. His injuries sometimes, I mean, that what rear ends his seasons, but when it comes to like when he's healthy and he's feeling good, Keenan Allen is one of the best receivers in football still. Let's shout out Keenan Allen because he's definitely the man. And I'm not just saying that because his performance yesterday is true. Like I said, it's just the injuries. But other than that, phenomenal wide receiver. I'm not going to pile on with the Bears and Kansas City. There's really nothing to talk about. Hope Justin Fields can turn his season around. I hope the Bears don't give up on him. I know it's hard to say that. I'm not a Bears fan. I didn't, but still, don't give up on the kid. He's young. He can play. Just, I don't know. That's just a hard situation. But shout out to Justin Fields, man. Keep your confidence, man. Hopefully you could play better down the stretch. Yeah, I like him. I just hope things work out for that young man. Shit is hard. Sometimes, the diversity is the hardest shit. But that's how you build character. You got to stand up during adversity as well. So, don't keep your spirits down. Keep them up. I know it's hard, but that's what you got to do, man. You definitely a talented player. Cleveland did win 27-3. Tennessee just looked pathetic. Tennessee needs to make a decision. The best thing I see Tennessee did yesterday was win that toe tap from DeAndre Hopkins. That's it. It's not a good look for me, B. But I just want to say Tennessee needs to do something with him. They need to get rid of Tannehill. Yeah. Y'all wasting Derrick Henry good years. Y'all got an elite receiver over there. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Deshaun Watson looked okay yesterday. He looked better than he has. And that's good to see. Cleveland definitely has a loaded team over there as well. Let's be clear on that. Shout out to Nick Chubb. Hope he has a speedy recovery. Hopes it's only even though that's a significant injury, but let's pray that it's only a MCL torn, nothing more devastating than that. So it's only week 3. It's nothing to panic about. Only for teams that's 0-3 that had high expectations. Cincinnati plays tonight. They shouldn't. I hope they don't fall 0-3. They're playing the Rams. I'm hoping for a good game, but of course I'm a 49ers fan, so I wouldn't be mad if the Rams lost. I'm just be honest. But I definitely hope that turns out to be a good game. Should be. Cincinnati needs to bounce back. They're 0-2. I hope this is not a trend that they want to continue to do, which is come back and start winning. Which it's still early. There's still 15 games left. But nobody wants to keep having to fight back, to claw back, to get into playoff contention and all that. It's tiring and taxing mentally and physically. But we'll see. That game comes on tonight at 8:15. Cincinnati, Los Angeles Rams. Then you also have Philadelphia Eagles playing the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2-0 teams. I mentioned that earlier. Tampa Bay surprisingly is doing better than I expected, especially with Baker Mayfield at the helm. Excuse me. I was never a big fan of Baker Mayfield, and I know he can care less. I understand you got money, millions, and I'm a nobody compared to you, of course. Okay. But to me, it was never like, oh my God, but what I can say, he has been playing well this season. Okay. He's been playing well. So far, he has thrown for 490 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Mike Evans had put up a monster game last week. You know, things are looking good, man. Things are looking good. Uh, definitely, definitely. So that game comes on at 7:15. Uh, the game is in Tampa Bay. So yeah, the game is in Tampa Bay. It should be interesting. The Eagles. It's going to be a tough game for the Eagles. I think